Well, hello everybody. It's Sita here of the Shawl Knitter Unplugged. I haven't been around for a while. I guess you probably know, or maybe you don't know, that I spend a lot of time in India, and I'm currently in India. I arrived on the 11th of October, and I take tours. So I had 2 weeks, we landed and off we went on my Mystic India tour. I had 4 wonderful people and we had such a full packed time traveling around to the mountains and all over the place. And I even had a first. I went to the Taj Mahal this year. I've been now 12 years in India, or maybe 15, I'm not sure. But yeah, I went to the Taj Mahal with my group and it was beautiful. It was really a beautiful experience and I can highly recommend it. And you know, I quite like the fact that there are millions of things obviously in India that I haven't done. But something like the Taj Mahal, I was going to see if I can get this reflection away. It's better. Is on top of everybody's list, but it was not on top of my list. Nevertheless, I'm having a great time. The Diwali festival has just concluded today after 4 days of lots of crowds, lots of noise, lots of light. A beautiful festival, very beautiful festival, but accompanied by loads of fireworks. Firecrackers, big bangs, showers, beautiful ones and very noisy ones throughout the night. So the past 2 nights have been pretty sleepless nights for me, but nevertheless, in the spirit of Diwali and bringing in the light, I managed well enough. So here I am, my people have gone, I'm chilling out and I'm here to tell you what I've been knitting because of course, I think it was 3 days or 4 days before I left South Africa, the Stephen West Go Dynamo MKAL came out. Now I was prepared for it, and in fact I had 2 sets of yarn ready, so I jumped in the midst of packing and doing everything else. I jumped in and started. And in fact, I managed to finish clue 1 of my first rendition, which was in some beautiful greens and like a highlighter pop green as well. I finished that first section and I just was about to start on the second section when it was time for us to come to India. Sorry, I keep on adjusting this because I can really see quite a bad reflection on the screen and I don't want that to disturb you. So I set out on my tour with my half started or slightly begun Go Dynamo, and I soon realized that this was not going to be something that I could knit while I was traveling. First of all, it required a lot of attention. I had to read the pattern all the time. I had to watch what I was doing. I chose to use quite a lot of mohair, and that's always a bit tricky. You know, you have to really focus that you actually, pick up the thread of mohair. So at a point, I stopped working on it. And I started working on another shawl of Stephen West. Sorry, I don't know if I said the one that, no. I started on the green one, and then when I got to India, I stopped. And then I went on to my second rendition of the Go Dynamo, which is actually in pinks and black. This is a black and pink variegated fingering weight. Where's my bag? And then this would have been my contrast color, but I have come in with this very pale, it probably just looks beige or cream here, but it is quite pinkish. So these ended up being my colors, and I did a lot with the mohair. So because I had already done section 1, it was pretty straightforward for me, and I started the second one, and then, you know, we had some breaks here and there, and I carried on knitting it. So I got through the first. This is it. That's not the first clue. You know what this looks like by now. Everybody's finished it. So that was my first clue, and I used the mohair and the black variegated cream. And then I went on to the second clue, which was the bubbles and the brioche. And that was fine, but that, you know, that was also quite demanding. I think I made quite a few errors in the brioche, but you would never really know. I think it looks fine. And then I decided to stop knitting on this because it was stressing me out too much. So I went on to a different shawl. But currently I'll just go through the end of this one because I came back to the Go Dynamo and I did section 4. I decided not to do section 3 first. I did section 4, which I absolutely loved it. So that's the top. And then just a few days ago, I went back to section 3 and I've started doing the little triangles. And these are in the variegated black pink and the pinkish cream mohair. Now let me tell you something. Picking up all those short row turnaround stitches in mohair is not a joke. But nevertheless, I worked out a way. I actually used a very thick darning needle to actually help me find that little loop to pick it up, because it was just impossible. Even with my pointy chiagoos, it was driving me insane. So that's where I'm at now. I'm cruising along, and it's quite nice because now all I have to do is the squiggly border after this, and then this one's finished. And I think it's great. I'm enjoying it. You know, I've been a bit ambivalent about it, but I go through the most amazing processes while I'm knitting, you know. I'm very enthusiastic. I get my colors. I start off. I always end up adding new colors, taking out colors. I keep going. I love it. And then there comes a point where I don't love it anymore. I don't know why, but it's like, oh, I don't know, this looks terrible. I'm not really sure about it, but I'll carry on. Anyway, I always push on and I always end up loving it. So thank goodness I'm back at the loving it stage now. So I think it's going to be quite big. It looks very big. I actually used a 3.75 needle because, you know, I like something very loose and drapey, and I think it is going to be gorgeous. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that today because today's Sunday and there's no noise. All the firecrackers are over, and it's nice and peaceful, even where I'm staying. I'm sure you can see I have a very kind of basic Indian style room full of stencils on the walls, and there is an incredible fan up ahead with a wonderful hand painted design around it, and a double bed and a bathroom, and what more do I need, you know? I know India so well. I've spent so many years staying in this kind of really simple accommodation, and it suits me. I don't really want to spend all my money on where I'm staying. I'd rather buy fabulous things and have wonderful experiences. So that is the Go Dynamo. The green one is actually packed in a suitcase in Jodhpur, which is another town in Rajasthan, where I'm at right now in Rajasthan, and I'm going there on the 16th of November, and I'll be there for 3 months. So while I'm there, by then I will have finished this one, and I'll get started. I'll make a start on the green one at some stage. I'll also be doing a lot of weaving. I'm very excited. I brought my loom with me, which is a little bit of madness, but luckily I could just dump the suitcase there with, I've got a whole suitcase, 20 odd kgs of crafting materials, including yarn, my loom, all the attachments, a scale for weighing my yarn. It's a bit crazy, but that's me. You know, I'm here for 5 months, so I want to carry on doing what I'm doing. So the next thing I then started, which I'd had my eye on for a while, And I could see that it was a very simple knit. It was basically a repeat of 12 rows, that you just had to repeat these rows over and over and over and over. And I had some wonderful bright odd skeins. So I thought I would jump in and do the Resplendence shawl, again by Stephen West. Now this is knitted sideways. It's really lovely. It's short rows. It's a very short amount of stitches. I think it starts with 120 stitches or 130 stitches. And you keep on getting less and less and less. And then you do this incredible mohair yarn over section that creates the wave. And on and on and on you go. So I have it here with me. It's super bright and super diaphanous with all the mohair in it. So this is the side. You actually start with this long I-cord, and then you pick up the stitches along the side, and off you go. So it's the same 12 stitches, which you will see the bottom of the shawl is much wider, because that is, you do the short rows, you know. You knit until there's 14, and then you turn around, and you knit until there's 21, and then you turn around, and so on and on you go. So these are my two basics. This bright orange, yellow, speckled, wonderful Crazy Madness. And then I've got this purple pink pop as well. Here it is. This is also, I've had this for ages. This is from Big Fox, South African dyer. Can't remember what it's called. I don't know why, because I absolutely love it. This I bought at the Yarn Festival. And all I remember is that the tag had a beautiful yellow bee on it. But it's stunning. It's really stunning. And I've been wondering what to do with it. So I'm using that. And then these are the mohairs that I'm interspersing the big stripes with. Let me find them all. Yeah. These are the mohairs. Bright pink, lilac, and an orange, which is almost finished, but that's okay. And then I also decided to add in, held together with the bright pink. Did I hold it? No, I held it double. This is this beautiful, beautiful color called African Violet from Cowgirl Blues. So this is a lace weight. So I've held that double without the mohair, and every now and again I've sort of interspersed, there's a stripe of it. And it appears every now and again. So I'm spreading it all out. So far I might be almost halfway through with this, but you know, it's really not a problem at all, because I'll just keep going with it wherever I am. And I think it's pretty lovely. It's so vibrant, and I love the diaphanous, diaphanous quality of it. It just makes for a very, very light shawl. And then it has a border. It has a chevron border at the bottom. I have no idea what color that's going to be yet, but I guess it depends on what I've got left. That's what I'll use. So those are basically all the knitting I can show you right now. And that's quite a lot, because I've been busy, but I do have lots of other gorgeous things to show you. So apart from taking my tours, I do quite a lot of shopping in India. I buy items and I sell them in South Africa, and mostly in the field of block printed textiles, beautiful shawls, silk yarn, which I'm sure you've seen, mulberry silk yarn and Erie silk yarn. I don't have any of it with me right now to show you, as it's all packed and waiting for me in Jodhpur. And yes, I look for unusual things. You know, Indian crafts are available all over the world, and also in South Africa. So there's a lot that I have seen, and there's a lot that I don't need to bring back. So the things I bring back are actually things that I love, things that are different, and things that I know my people will like. I'm just holding in my hand right now. This is just a real kitschy kind of gorgeous very El Cheapo, but very effective plastic bangles. These are all part of the wedding bangles, and they, you know, you just need to wear one to get this real blingy glow. So I've bought quite a few of them, not only the plastic ones, the ones that are made out of lacquer, which here they call lac, and it's like glass. One has to be careful with them, they are breakable, but the ones I bought are very heavy and very jeweled. So I'll have those bracelets, they just give me a lot of joy. And I have a few things here with me that I can show you. This is a gorgeous crossbody bag that's made by my dear friend in Jodhpur. I've been wearing it the whole time since I've been here. And this is made from pieces of antique fabrics that he cuts up and makes into items. So this is what's called kanta stitch. It's done pretty much across North India, a lot in West Bengal and Bengal, Bangladesh, and in Rajasthan. So this whole pattern that you can see is just done from running stitches, and these are thicker running stitches. So that's the back of the bag. It's got a really lovely double layered backed gorgeous strap, and then it's got this flap which is made from antique Rabari embroidery. Rabari is a tribe from the desert, and they use mirror in their embroidery work. I'll be showing a lot of their work very soon. There's an incredible camel fair that's going to be happening here in Pushkar, and a lot of the Rabari are cattle herdsmen, nomadic cattle herdsmen in the desert. So there'll be so many beautiful things to see. I love the tribal work. So this is also a pocket. It's got a zip here, very sturdy zip. And I mean, I've been using this as my purse, this little zip section, as it's very well protected. And then it's got this flap with another pocket, also with another sturdy zip. And then it's got actually the inside of the bag, which has got another pocket and another zip. So this has been my everyday wear, and I bought this just for my little key ring. I do intend to hang lots of things off it, but isn't this just wonderful? I'll have a few of these, not many. I'm having some made in December, and I'll be bringing them back when I come next year in March. So I wanted to show you that. Then I bought, this is just a fun bag that I bought in the market just for my everyday shopping. It's also made with some hand embroidery, cotton hand embroidery. It's quite thin, it's got a bit of a lining to it. It's just the colors really sold me, you know. I'm a sucker for the pinks. And let's see if I can show you it on me. I'm sitting on my bed on a couple of pillows, trying to make the most of the situation. But yes, and I mean, they're very strong. They've all got zips and pockets, and so this is my shopping bag. My water bottle can fit in here. I always take a cloth to sit on because I end up sitting on the steps, on the marble steps, which can be very dusty. I'm also wearing this top I actually had made last year. This is a block print fabric from Jaipur. It's sort of become my house dress. I wear it when I'm at home and relaxing. Then what else? I have a couple of very beautiful pieces to show you. This I bought, I went to an exhibition in Jaipur while I was on the tour with my people, and I bought this absolutely gorgeous hand-woven scarf. It's very lightweight, it's cotton, pure cotton, and as you can see, it's got this sort of spaced out weave. It's very thin, very, very, very thin. Don't know if you can get an idea. And then both ends have the beautiful signature red and black hand embroidered border, which is really fine. It's so beautiful, and wow, I long for the day that I could do such a thing. And then of course it's ended off with this beautiful border, like a chevron border, and these gorgeous tassels. So this is a piece that is not going anywhere. It's mine. It's going to stay with me. And yeah, looking forward to wearing it soon. Perhaps I'll wear it at the camel fair. But that's my Rabari embroidered shawl. It's a bit warm to keep it on. And then a few other things that I sourced, and I found it very hard to not pick up gorgeous textiles. So there's a form of dyeing, natural dyeing, that is done by hand stitching a pattern onto fabric with very, very fine thread, and then pulling that stitching up so that it forms a resisted area that the dye does not reach. And that is called Shibori. I think original Shibori comes from Japan, but it's also done a lot here. Well, not a lot, but it is done in India. And I managed to find a couple of absolutely beautiful pure wool shawls out of this Shibori design. So this is held double. It's very, very thin, very thin. You can probably see if I hold it up that it's quite diaphanous. And then this is the actual stitched design, which I'm sure you can see the little holes. All those holes are from stitches being done with a very tiny needle and a thread. They stitch around the edge of the leaves and the middle of the leaves, and then they pull the threads tight. And they have this completely bunched up piece of textile, which they then dye. And this is an indigo dyed piece. It's really gorgeous, very lightweight, very beautiful, and very warm because it is wool. So this, this kind of thing, I can't resist it. When I see it, I have to take it. And blue is not my color, and I will not be keeping this. But I like to be able to offer things that you cannot find very readily. And it just makes my job so exciting, I love what I do. I can't tell you how much I love what I do. This is another piece, quite unusual, this one. This is done with continuous zigzags across the fabric. It's in grays. It's stitched, you can see the holes. It's stitched right across the whole entire width and length of this piece. It's light gray. And it's got a solid grey border. This was also, it's a blue grey, so this would also have been dyed with indigo. Here it is. It's so beautiful. It's just so natural and, inspirational, I would say, There's a pattern, there's a design, but it's handmade and it's not 100% regular, and it's 100% absolutely gorgeous. So this is another one that I have currently. I did have quite a few more, but luckily they have all been taken back to South Africa for me, and they'll be there soon. This is just a beautiful, I don't want to say just, but this is also a woolen shawl. Also not very heavy, but not dyed in any way. It's totally natural. It's sort of a grey oatmeal. It's kind of the color's kind of pretty true, actually. There you go. That's what it is. And these are quite big, They are 2 meters long by 80 centimeters wide. Yeah, 2 meters. And pure wool. So that's what I have today. I don't really want to make the videos very long because I'm not sure how the downloading speed is here. But nevertheless, just to say, I'm in my element. I'm hunting out gorgeous things daily. It is so hard for me to walk in the market and not find something that I love. Oh, I did purchase these absolutely stunning silver earrings, very solid, really lovely. Also tribal. Can you see them? I guess you can. I'm not really much of a jewelry wearer, so when I put in a pair of earrings, they don't actually come out, they stay in. And they're made so beautifully. Everything here, there's so much attention to detail that I don't know if I can actually show you. You know, look at this, how it's made. It's got this beautiful ridge, and then this actually fits into this little clasp. It just clicks in, and there's no ways that that's coming out. So beautiful. I love that. So I put these in. They're slightly heavier than my last pair, but I'm already used to them. And that was my Diwali present to myself. One has to spoil oneself in India. So my friends, thank you so much for coming to visit with me today. I'm sorry it took me a while to get here, but I did post a tiny little video before this one, which I was hoping to join to the main video, but of course I'm useless at that. I can't, I don't know how to do that. That was taken in the market this morning when I went to have my breakfast, my lovely bowl of fruit and buffalo curd, which is what I have every morning. I can eat so well in India, and that's what I really love. It's always fresh food, and I don't have to make it. And yeah, I am going to be sharing the rest of my journey with you. I'm starting a smaller tour idea, which will happen this weekend, and I'm calling it, what am I calling it? Discovery tours. Discovery meaning that finding places that are off the beaten track. So will also be very short tours. So if you're already in India and you'd like to go somewhere you haven't been before, you can come with me. So I'm going to Bundi, which is a very, very unusual, amazing place set in the hills, 200 kilometers or so away from where I am. It's full of beautiful ancient temples and forts set on a lake in this lush green environment. Quite interestingly enough, this year the desert is very green. They had a very big rain in monsoon time, much more rain than they ever have had in many, many years. And one can see the water everywhere, which is so beautiful. And they had a bit of a late summer. We arrived in October and it was still in the mid-30s centigrade, but it's come down already. And I'm looking forward to the next few months in the desert, where the temperatures will be in the region of 25, 26 in the day. And that is just perfect. That means I can knit, I can weave, and I can just carry on with all my inspiring and creative endeavors. So yes, until next time, be well. Happy Diwali to all of you. It's the beginning of the new year in India, bringing in the light, and wishing you all the best. Thank you very much for coming.